opinion, the teacher's probably the one doing the most of the learning. And before I used Socratic Circles, that was absolutely true in my own practice too. And if I'm not really careful about how I'm planning for dialogue in my classroom, it goes back to this. The other book that I have to recommend, and before this isn't so far in any of the things that I provided, is Inspiring Dialogue by Mary Chuswick and a team from Michigan State. It was published by Teachers College Press in 2013. It's a little maroon book. I use that in all of my workshops and all of my graduate classes about methods of teaching. So it's something that I do. And not that it matters, but I also go out and do this in classrooms still all the time. It's a big part of what I do at the University of Arkansas. I did one as I was renewing my national board licensure in February. I love to go out and do this. If you're close to me, I'll even volunteer to come over if it's within reason or if I happen to be in an area and do one with your students. So if you think that it won't work with your students, I'll say, you know what, it will work. It absolutely will work. And that's what I tell people when I do workshops about this closer to home. So I probably, am not going to be able to drive to like Washington State to do a Socratic Circle for you and then drive back home. But I get around to Kansas and Mississippi and all parts of Arkansas, Missouri with some frequency and occasionally out to Colorado. So if you happen to be from one of those places, feel free to contact me and it might be able to work out a time or I could just come hang out with you and your kids and we could do one of these things. I love doing it. I really do. And I have never grown tired because I feel like I always learn things. The second thing, the first thing I always do with my students is the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? I didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance here with you today. I didn't think that that was something that would be all that as interesting maybe as doing a piece of art. Also on the back of your feedback form is an example of a text and sort of how I lay that out. That particular text is one that I thought about doing today, but I decided against it because I didn't want to make anyone feel less welcome, and with the election and things still feeling very tense, without being political, it feels very tense, okay? And so I thought that that might be something that was just pushing a group of people who are strangers a little too far. If I'd done several of these with you, I'd absolutely use that, and I have used it. But I thought that might have been asking a little much of you. So that's why we did the piece of art today, and you have the piece of art that is on permanent display at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas, along with like Rosie the Riveter and all kinds of iconic paintings that Alice Walton, the heir of the Walmart fortune, has purchased and brought to my state. It's about 22 miles from my house now. Let's just take questions. What do you want to know? And be sure to be listening to other people so we don't have repeat questions because frankly we don't have time. And 11:40.